So welcome back, guys. As we promised, we will do a photo comparison of the A7Siii, which we are recording right there with 12 megapixel. Then of the Sony A1, which we are recording right here with 50 megapixel. And of the A7R4 with 61 megapixels. As we are currently in quarantine in Iceland, we took the opportunity as we were going for a walk.
Yeah, we went for a short walk. There's nothing interesting about these landscapes, is there? But it's good enough to do a bit of pixel peeking and just have a look. So we'll look at it individually. So we'll just let you see each picture by itself. I think that's a good way to do it. So this is picture A, we'll call it. Looks fine. You know, what did you do to edit it, by the way? Did you edit these?
We actually didn't too much. When we edited it, I just put a little bit of contrast in, cranked the highlights down, pushed the shadows up, and put the whites a bit down, and that's all we did.
Very
just
basic.
Just the basics of editing, basically.
And so people know when we did the comparison, we used a tripod, the same lens, and as much as possible everything
of f11. Yeah.
Okay, so this is picture B.
So for the landscape photos, we used the 35mm prime lens from Sony with an f-stop of f1.4. But we took all the pictures at f11, so...
And this is picture C. So these are individually. First, you look again, you've got picture A, then picture B, then picture C. Now, it's not just about guessing which one is 12, 50 and 60, but it's also really about which one do you like.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Which picture looks nicer to you. We'll now put them side by side, two of them together. So if we're putting the active one, in the active right side is picture A, and in the picture B is on the reference side, on the left side. So that's picture A and B on the left.
Can't really see any difference in both of them. It looks same-ish quality-wise. I think as long as you don't zoom in, you can't really see any
difference.
Yeah,
really. If you put now picture A on the active side and picture C on the left side as well. So now you've been able to see picture A against B and C basically. And again, I think everybody's going to be the same going, yes, there may be some things where people might say, oh, well, I actually like that, or that looks more digital, or that looks, it's hard to tell. And if you're going to be posting on Instagram and YouTube, like you're watching this, I don't think you're going to notice, are you?
No.
So the question then is let's put on the active side, picture B, and on the reference side, we'll put it's
your ugly face, by the way.
We'll put C. So we'll put B on the active side next to C. And then we'll put B on this side again next to, on this side, A again. And it's giving you a bit of an idea, but let's actually, why don't we just allow, because obviously everybody knows on 12 megapixels, if you zoom in and crop in, you
can see it,
you're going to see it. But how far do you zoom in before you notice it? So let me reset these a little bit, and I'm going to put picture A back on the active side, and I'm going to put picture B on the reference side, and I'm going to zoom in. I'm not going to zoom in like 100%, but instead I'm going to draw a square, because this is what a lot of people would do. They'd either draw a square or drag the shift. I'll try and draw a similar sort of area on this side so that they're similar-ish. And again, can you even notice a difference at this stage? I mean, this could be the A1 and the A7R4 together. So maybe because it's only 50 and 60 megapixels, it might be difficult to tell the difference.
I had the focus right on the tree. On the
tree, on the actual stump of the tree.
On the stump of the tree. On all three photos, we used the same focus spot, so I actually can't see any difference at all.
Even though we've zoomed in, but let's go crazy with it a little bit, and let's zoom in closer on this one here. So let's come right in towards the tree and right in towards the tree at this point here. And now
you can see some difference. You see the left picture is falling apart a little bit.
It's pixelated a bit,
Yeah,
isn't it?
especially on the tree you can see it.
Yeah, let's go with a chair in the tree. So we've got like a...
On the cut off stump of the tree you can see a bit of a falling apart on the left picture. The right one looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if you come even closer in, let's say we go really close in. And this is why I think the only difference is between these now. Now you can probably see the left picture is definitely the A7S3. So that's the A7S3. But the question is, do you know if that is the A7R4 on the active screen on the right, or is that actually the A1 on the active screen? Well, I will put I'll change this reference shot so that now you can see the A1 and the A7R4 together. I'm not going to tell you which one's which at the minute. Julian won't know either. So do you know which one's which?
For my eye, the left one looks better on the stump of the tree and also looks like more dynamic range at all. Better colors on the left one. Even the bench looks better on the left one than on the right one.
So when Julian's waffling on, the question is, looks better. Okay, he prefers it, but what is it? What camera is that then? What's the left and what's the right? Do you know?
I would say the left one is the R4 with 61 megapixel and the right one is the Sony A1 with 50 megapixel.
Okay, good. So I can now tell you the answer to everything. Obviously, the one we got rid of before was the A7S3. This one here is actually the A1. And this one
I was
here
actually
is the
wrong.
R4. Let's look at them again. That's A1 on this side, and that's A4 on this side. R4, sorry. So the R4 is here, and this one is the A1 next to each other. So again, it's not just about pixel peaking, but it's also what looks nicer to your eye.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a bit easier if you see, if we change the pictures now. So we're going to adapt the pictures, and I'm going to mix them up a bit now. So I'm not going to tell you...
It's an ugly person. Do we not have a better model here?
We don't actually.
It's actually embarrassing.
I don't believe how horrible he can be at times. This is perfect model. So we have two pictures again, and same thing. A7S3, R4, A1 mixed up.
I'm a skittle.
I'm a skittle. I'm a skittle.
Skittle.
So we have. Actually, let's have a look at them individually first. So. Let's picture one individually.
Which f-stop are they taking on?
I don't know, you took them 2.8.
But I gave you photos with f4.4 and f2.8.
All right, I'll have to have a look then, while I quickly see what they were taking on.
He's never prepared.
Yeah, these are 1.4.
1.4.
Ah, no.
Okay. Yeah, f1.4.
f1.4.
Cool. All photos of this ugly model are taken with the 85mm Sigma lens f1.4.
This is picture B, and here is picture C. So A, B, and C again. We'll put them next to each other. Again, I'm going to change the order a bit this time so there's no confusion. I've put up on the right side a picture, and in the middle I'll stick up another picture. And again, I don't know, from this distance, and if you imagine you're looking on Instagram again, you know, you're not printing these big or whatever.
Can't see any difference on Instagram, basically.
I think until you actually look closely, if you're just putting these on Instagram, you know, and you use them on social media, I would literally look at that and actually go, I quite like the left one or something, you know, I don't know. I might just look better on the left one.
Yeah, the lighting condition changed very quickly. So
let's leave the active one and we'll switch it in with this one. So now we've got the active one with picture C. So this is now A and C together at the minute. A on the right side, C on the left side. I will change the active one to picture B. So now you've got picture B.
Yeah, without
picture A, picture B, and picture A.
Yeah, without zooming in, again, you can't see any difference at all.
Let's cut to the chase here. we'll go ridiculous zoom in. We'll go straight to the eye, okay, on this one, and straight to the eye and head on this one. And we can now probably see that we're getting a difference in these pictures here. I thought maybe, you know, we've yeah, now we
There's
see
a
it.
massive difference now, yeah.
Yeah, but let's face it, who is cropping like that? You know, that's just ridiculous. And
you know, you are so versed with your composition that you actually
that's how I crop
cropping like this. That's why he bought the A1.
That's why I bought the A1 with a 14mm lens, because I can just crop everything in. So it's pretty obvious now straight away which is the A7S3, yeah?
Yeah.
So why don't we...
Definitely the right one is the A7S3.
So now the question is which one is the R4 and which one is the A1 again? So we'll do the eye zoom, yeah? So let's even go closer, because, you know, 60 megapixels and 50 megapixels. Let's go pretty close and even closer. So do we know which one is R4 and which one is A1? And judging from the one before where we took the shot, the colours came out slightly different, although you edited it similar.
Exactly the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the left one is more green.
It's more magenta, yeah.
Yeah, and the right one is a bit more reddish, sort of.
Yeah. I actually don't know which one's which now because I'm confused. But one's...
Let's guess. I go with the left one is the 61 megapixel from the R4 and the right one is the Sony A1 with 50 megapixel.
Right. Let us put the data up and view it and see. Da, da, da. It's actually the other way around.
Oh. Again, wrong.
We just don't know anything. We literally don't know what we're talking about. So, could you spot it? We have one more bonus one, don't we? We've got actually an object as well
photo, yeah.
to let you see that. Right. We decided, as we are actually got a surprise for you on our next video, we're showing you a drone for a reason. I bet you probably can guess why. But we've photographed a drone. Here is picture A. Picture B.
They again all taken with the same lens with the 35mm f1.4 from Sony GM, and the photo is taken with f1.4. The zoom was right on the lens of the drone.
Yeah, and the gimbal. And that's picture C.
Just the basics again: contrast, whites, highlights, shadows.
Picture A and picture B. So picture A is in the active, and picture B is the reference. A in the active, picture B in the reference. Then I'll put picture C in the reference against picture A. And again, can you see it? Like
No.
it's like, again, we're going to have to do
if you don't zoom, you
in.
can't see anything different.
And I think it depends how far you zoom
I
as
also
well.
think 12 megapixel is not always as bad as people say, because sometimes a 61 megapixel photo just looks
digital,
yeah,
like a bit aggressive.
Do you need clean longer then?
Yes, please. We go in 10 minutes. We
Okay.
leave. Is that okay?
Yes.
Thank you. So, yeah. So cleaner just popped in. Check our room.
the first cleaned room after 6 days here.
Yes, because they're not allowed in normally. So now we're out of quarantine. They are. The question is, even when I zoom in that much, and you know, you've got to imagine now, I've zoomed in quite aggressively. If you look, you know, let's say I come right in on the lens area there, and the same on this one here. That's, you know, we're zooming in quite a bit. And I can tell you that one of these is the A7S3. One of them's the S3, and one of them is, I think it's your camera actually, the other one. So it's the R4, the other one. And really,
There's no difference on this one.
it's well, I would argue I can see it. I can see that the left one is the
higher
higher
quality.
quality
Yeah.
megapixel, sorry, and the right one is
I
slightly.
think you can see it here in this area,
Yeah.
that it's falling a bit apart.
Yeah. The issue is, let's see it, is that I think it's nice to see the A1 and the R4 together. So active side is the A1 and reference side is the R4.
In my opinion, even the 50 megapixel from the Sony A1 looks better focus wise, even color wise.
Yeah, it's always this green tinge.
Maybe it's also the different sensor, because I think the Sony A1 has a newer sensor than the A7R4. Maybe they got rid a bit of the green things, what a lot of people complain in the Sony cameras.
Yeah.
That there's always a green hint in it.
So the question comes down to, if you're buying a camera and you don't have the budget to be spending 7,000 odd euros on a A1, there's nothing wrong if you are a video camera person, you want to do both, actually having an A7S3, as long as you're not going to be aggressively cropping.
Yeah.
I don't see a huge problem with having an S3.
No.
I'd rather have the S3 than the R4 personally, because I do both. If I had to choose, I'd rather go with a 12 megapixel, sacrifice a little bit on the photograph side to have that super high quality video, and just be more controlled with my photographs, better with my compositions. And of course, remember, if you're not buying an A1 and you have money, you've got a lot of money for lenses then, if you're just getting an S3 or an R4.
You could buy even 2 good lenses for the price.
I would personally take an A7S3, and then even if I had to, pick up a cheaper 24 megapixel camera or something if I wanted to. But what would you do? It's
difficult to say. When I started photography, I had the A7Siii at the beginning. Then I changed to the R4 because I was focusing only on photos and nothing at all on videos. But then I started with the vlogs, and then I was not happy anymore with the quality of this camera. So I also bought the A7S3 because I'm spoiled. I know that's what you think just now. I got 2 cameras.
2 high quality cameras.
But what would I do now? I probably would go, as Paul said, with the Sony A7S3 because
it's epic.
It's epic. The video is absolutely epic with the 10-bit. We are just actually videoing on it on S-Log3. There's nothing to complain about it, I think. Especially if you post it only on social media, the photos, you can't see any difference at all.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion.
And that's my opinion.
We are not any pros or something. We are just 2 normal guys.
We're not really normal. We've got to go and get a PCR test.
Exactly.
Let's
do this.
On the next one.